What is up, my Pika crew? This is the Pika Woo, and welcome to a 5th generation Wi-Fi battle. This one is going to be an Ubers match against a guy called Sad Trombone from the Smogon Wi-Fi Battle Finder. And before we start this match, let's just look at our teams for a little bit. So my opponent has a pretty offensive team. He's got 5 offensive Pokemon and 1 defensive Pokemon in the shape of Forretress. Out of all his offensive guys, Darkrai is going to pose the biggest threat because it can put something to sleep with Dark Void and start dishing out very powerful hits with Dark Pulse and Focus Blast. However, because he doesn't really have any defensive Pokemon, he has nothing to take powerful moves, really no defensive pivots, so I'm going to exploit this weakness by playing very aggressively and utilizing my very powerful Pokemon, such as Omastar or Palkia. So, looking at my team, I have a pretty balanced team, consists of 3 walls and 3 offensive guys. Giratina and Ferrothorn is going to complete my defensive core because they pair with each other well and they complement each other's weaknesses. I also have a specially defensive Excadrill that can go on the offense if it wants to. I also have, like I said, Palkia and Omastar. They're going to be very key players because they are big threats in the Ubers tier and they are going to do some work in this battle, so I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm going to lead off with a Choice Scarf Kyogre, actually anticipating my opponent to lead off with the Darkrai to try to get the Dark Void off and then start dishing out very powerful moves or setting up first turn, but he actually leads off with the Palkia. He ends up getting the better end of the matchup because he can hit me hard with a Thunder or Draco Meteor and I can't really retaliate back with a super effective move. So I'm going to go into my specially defensive wall that can resist pretty much all of Palkia's hits. It can take its stab moves Water and Dragon, it can take a Thunder, and it can take a Fire Blast because I do have the Rain up, so long as he isn't a Choice Spec set. Looking at the damage, it's definitely not Specs. I'm thinking it's going to be Choice Scarfed because a lot of Palkias in the Ubers metagame are Choice Scarfed. So he's going to switch out because he's at -2, and that gives me the opportunity to set up my rocks early on. And he brings in the Latios, and the way he brings it in signals that he has the Hidden Power Fire, which shouldn't be too big of a deal because it's only going to be 140 base power since it is powered down due to the rain that is in play. So I can set up the Lead Seed and then I can stall to a certain degree with the Lead Seed and Protect combination so I can recover back to a reasonable amount of health, back to green. And then I do have a plan. After I heal up a little bit, I'm going to go into my Giratina. Although it's not really invested in that much defense, it does have some HP investment. It should be able to take pretty much any hit from this Latios. Plus, I'm thinking he's just going to go for the Hidden Power Fire if he were to stay in. And I can bring in my Giratina and take him out with a Shadow Sneak. But he actually brings in the Tornadus as I switch into my Giratina. And this matchup is a okay matchup. I really can't hit the Tornadus with anything too hard because I carry Earthquake, Shadow Sneak, and Dragon Tail. So my strongest attacking move is going to be that Dragon Tail, which should still do a decent amount of damage because I am max attack Adamant Nature. He ends up going for the Hurricane. That does a lot of damage. It does around 50%. I do hit myself in confusion because he does get the confusion from the Hurricane, and this puts me at a very awkward situation because now he pretty much is guaranteed a KO with the next Hurricane. I was actually hoping to break through the confusion and bring in the Forretress so then I can set up Substitute on him, but unfortunately that's not the case. I'm forced to bring in my Omastar to take the next Hurricane in order to preserve my Giratina. I'm going to outspeed and take out this Tornadus with an Ice Beam. I was actually surprised he didn't switch out into Kyogre because Kyogres are pretty good Omastar counter, especially when Kyogre is at full health. But that's good for me because he didn't bring it in. So now he's going to bring in the Palkia again. That's fine. I have a pretty good counter, which is Ferrothorn. Again, if he predicts the switch, I should be able to take at least one hit since Fire Blast shouldn't be doing too much in the rain. He ends up going for the Aura Sphere, which was actually pretty surprising because I don't really see it that often for these Palkias to carry that specific move. Not sure if it's because I'm pretty naive in the Ubers metagame and I don't really face many players, but it ends up working very well for my opponent because it would deal super effective damage against my Omastar, it would deal super effective damage against generally my 2 specially defensive walls, my Ferrothorn and my Excadrill, so that was a great play. Now, I'm thinking the Giratina switching is way too obvious, so he might go into Darkrai, predicting me to go into Giratina to take the Aura Sphere, but that's why I went to Kyogre. He ends up going for the Aura Sphere, which is fine. I know he's going to switch because he doesn't really want to take a hit, and he's probably Choice Scarfed. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull off an Ice Beam, and it hits a Latios and takes the Latios out in 2 shots. So this is good. The way he brings in this Palkia again confirms that he's Choice Scarfed. He's most likely going to go for the Draco Meteor. I can take that hit with my Ferrothorn, and then I can save my Ferrothorn later as Death Fodder because I can take 2 of these hits. So this is pretty good. Because he's at -2, he's most likely going to stay in and finish me off with another Draco Meteor, or he's going to switch out into probably a Darkrai to try to set up or something. Ends up, he goes into Darkrai, that's fine. I'm actually going to switch into my Kyogre, which works out perfectly because I outspeed him and I can take him out with a Surf. So this is very good because he has to switch or he loses his Darkrai. I don't really want to play any games at all because Darkrai is a big threat. I don't want to mispredict and have him go for the Dark Void. So I'm going to go ahead and go straight for the obvious play, the Surf. He predicts that and goes into the Palkia, which quad resists it, and again, he's going to force me out. And this time, I don't want to fodder my Ferrothorn just yet. I'm going to go into my Excadrill to take the anticipated hit, but that was a really dumb play. Just really should have let my Ferrothorn there to die, because my Excadrill is pretty much going to get taken down in 1 shot by a Hydro Pump. And this is a good thing and a bad thing. The bad thing is both of my specialty defensive walls are pretty much dead. But the good thing is, because he's locked into Hydro Pump, I can bring in my own Palkia and just wreak havoc, because since he's locked into that water type move, I'm not a Choice Scarf or Choice Specs Palkia myself. I am a subset, so he's pretty much forced to switch out or deal not enough damage to break my substitute. So this puts me at an amazing situation because he actually brings in the Fortress, maybe to take the anticipated Draco Meteor. Of course, I can take him out with a Surf next turn anyways because it's water boosted and Palkia is strong. So that Fortress is going to get taken down and I still have my sub up. So pretty much 2 Pokemon are going to die, and that's only to break my own substitute. So this is very, very good. This Darkrai, very big threat. I can take it out. So the biggest threat on his team is going to get taken out. So this is very, very good. Palkia doing lots of work. His Palkia is pretty strong as well, but because he gets walled by those steel types, he's not going to be able to use his Palkia to the maximum potential like I am. But because my steel types are pretty much dead, I'm going to go ahead and just fodder off my Ferrothorn one last time. And this puts me at a good situation because he goes for the Draco Meteor and he's at -2, and I can bring in another Pokemon that can normally take a -2 Draco Meteor. So yeah, this Kyogre is going to come in. I can take a Draco Meteor since Kyogre has great special defense, and I'm going to go ahead and go for the Thunder because it should take down the Palkia, it should take down this Kyogre, and even if it doesn't, then I should be able to 2-hit KO it because I am a Choice Scarf set, and this is good because Kyogre is something that's stopping my Omastar. So with this Kyogre down, there's even more potential of my Omastar, but I really don't use my Omastar in this battle because I have other Pokemon to handle his team. And he has his Palkia left, so this is good. It's pretty much at red health. He can take down my Kyogre, that's fine. I'm pretty sure I should be able to live a Choice Scarf Draco Meteor just because Kyogre has like base 150 special defense, and I should be able to take down this Palkia as well. So this Palkia is going to get taken down. I believe that is his last Pokemon if I'm not mistaken, and that is going to be the match. So yeah, Palkia being an absolute boss on my side. Still pretty threatening my opponent's Palkia, but it didn't really do that much since I had a lot of steel types. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. This is the Pika-Woo. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, a comment, and a subscription if you want to join the Pika crew. So yeah, this is the Pika-Woo signing out, guys. Peace.